The year is 2006 and you're playing The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the first time. After learning how to use your newly acquired wooden blade and an exhilarating pursuit through Faron Woods, you're forced to make a difficult sacrifice in order to proceed. I can't have been the only person who was like, nah mate, see you later. After a brief period of denial, you eventually fold. Your dreams are shattered, and all that remain are fond memories of a simpler time. The days of vanquishing evil with a blade made of the same stuff as your coffee table are over. But what if I told you there is a way to make your dreams come true? Before we begin, there are some things that need addressing. By keeping the wooden sword, I am referring to keeping the wooden sword permanently in your inventory, replacing the Ordon sword in the first sword slot. I have included some variations of how to achieve this, and each of these methods vary in difficulty, so if you plan on doing this on your own save file, you may wish to choose a method that suits you best. These methods are possible in all GameCube and Wii versions of Twilight Princess. If you are playing on Dusk on PC or Steam Deck, this will also work. Unfortunately, the methods presented in this video do not work on Twilight Princess HD. It may be possible another way, but this video will be focused on the GameCube version of the game. Without further ado, let's get into it. During a typical playthrough, after collecting the slingshot, Russell will approach you and reveal he has left something in your house. After claiming your new gift and showing it off to the children of Ordon, you embark on a pursuit through the woods. You kill a few bad guys, free Tallow, Ilya gets vexed, and then you're forced to give up the sword, never to be used again. However, this time, after your conversation with Russell, ignore everything else and head straight out towards the Faron Woods. We're about to perform our first trick, Ordon Gate Clip. Grab this rock and carry it all the way over to the gate. Place it in this approximate position. Put Link in this approximate angle, it doesn't have to be precise, and then side hop into the gate so that you end up standing on top of the lower half of the gate. Then, ensuring you're not touching the control stick, hold target and keep pressing A until Link bonks the wall. If done correctly, Link should pop out on the opposite side of the gate. If you emerge on the wrong side, simply reposition and try again. Now you're free to progress through the Faron Woods chase as normal, with the only exception being that you don't have your trusty sword, so you will have to avoid enemies or use the slingshot. If you use the slingshot, make sure to have at least 16 pellets before attempting to free Tallow. Once you arrive at the cage, you need to manipulate the Bokoblins in a way that they break the cage for you. Once you've achieved this, take them out with a slingshot. From here, the game carries on for a little while as normal. Ilya gets vexed again, but you'll notice that Tallow and Mallow simply aren't there. Don't collect the wooden sword yet, instead carry on through Ordon Spring and begin the wolf segment of the game. After meeting Princess Zelda, you will find yourself back at Ordon Spring once again, this time in wolf form. It is very important that I tell you not to kill this guy. His name is Hugo, and we will be needing him very shortly for another trick. This section is entirely optional. I am going to collect the Ordon shield so that I can use it when I turn back into a human. In order to permanently keep the wooden sword, it is important that we skip collecting the Ordon sword as we need to leave the inventory slot free. Now we head back towards Ordon Spring. We're about to perform the most difficult trick in this tutorial, sword and shield skip. If we attempt to head into the Twilight without a sword and shield, Midna reminds us how stupid we are and demands that we return to the village to collect the sword. Fortunately for us, there is a way to bypass this using our friend Hugo here. The way that this trick works is by abusing how the Midna text triggers are laid out. I am using the original GameCube textures here for easier visual reference. This red line shows the border for the Midna text telling you to leave. The green line represents the border for the cutscene which allows you to enter the Twilight. Since we can't go and collect the sword and shield to clear the red line, we need to jump over the red zone and land in the green zone. This is where Hugo comes into play. As soon as you and Hugo are over the bridge, run towards this spot and stop in the corner just before this black line. Target at this angle and wait until Hugo starts to attack. Jump backwards and begin moving him into the correct spot. You want him to be slightly away from the wall with his left foot here in relation to the black line, whilst he starts his attack. Once you're satisfied, jump back and perform a jump attack with no direction held on the control stick. Once Hugo is at the peak of his jump, press forward and A to perform another jump attack. If done successfully, you will get this cutscene. If you fail, you will need to void out to reset Hugo's health, and you will need to walk him back across the bridge to try again. You can dig for hearts here, by the bridge, or you can dig for hearts here at Ordon's spring. Hugo can only survive one jump attack before dying, and if he dies, the trick becomes impossible. Sword and shield skip can be a very difficult trick to learn. You should expect to fail multiple times, but at the very least you will only have to do this once. Each time you fail, try and figure out what you're doing wrong. My advice is that it helps to visualize where the triggers are. You might fail due to a bad angle, in which case you need to aim for the middle of the corridor. You might accidentally hit the midna trigger after the first jump attack, meaning that you need to be positioned slightly further back. In the description of this video I have included additional sword and shield skip tutorials which might offer better help. If you give up on sword and shield skip, there is another method of temporarily keeping the wooden sword I thought I would include. To do this, you can collect the Ordon sword, clear the fire in Twilight, and then collect the wooden sword from Link's house. This allows you to use the wooden sword for a while, until you either equip the Ordon sword in the pause menu over it, or up until you collect the Master Sword, both of which automatically overwrite the wooden sword. Since it's not in your inventory, it gets lost forever. If you successfully complete Sword and Shield skip, well done! All you need to do is collect the tears, clear the fire in Twilight, and then head back to Link's house. You are now free to collect your hard-earned prize, which you can use to your heart's content without a worry of losing it. Now you might be wondering, why on earth would you want to do this? Aside from looking cool, using the wooden sword can act as a challenge of some sort. I like to think of it as a Twilight Princess master quest. Fortunately, the sword won't burn in contact with fire or lava, unlike the Ordon shield. The sword itself simply does less damage than the Ordon sword, so a lot of enemies will take a bit longer to kill. This becomes especially evident towards late game, but is even noticeable very early on. Take this Deku Baba for example, or this Big Baba. But for me, it was simply to answer a question I had since I first played the game, and I'm glad to be able to share this knowledge. I will be doing a wooden sword 100% challenge very soon, so keep your eyes peeled on my channel if that's something you'd like to see. Big shout outs to the team at Twilight Realm for making the recording of this video possible. Check out the description for more information on Dusklight. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.